Everybody loves a good sandwich. Lately, we've been on the road a whole lot traveling, and I've been very disappointed in the sandwich selections I've been getting. So that put me in the mood to come home and make one myself. So today, I'm going to show you how to make this delicious chicken bacon ranch sandwich right in your own kitchen. Meet me in the kitchen. Let's make it happen.
Garlic butter.
A little subtle honey.
Send a dozen of those to my house.
All right, people, you can't have a chicken bacon ranch sandwich without the bacon. And if you're going to use bacon, use the best quality. And in my opinion, they're not sponsored today. They've been a sponsor in the past, full disclosure. But Wright Bacon is some of the best bacon money can buy. We're using thick cut, hickory smoked. And we're going to put it in the oven for easier cleanup. Now, if you're a turkey bacon person, then hey, I'm not going to make fun of you too much. Okay, I am. Turkey bacon is not real bacon. You shouldn't eat it. I'm just kidding. You can eat it if you want to, but don't put it on my sandwich. You can do whatever you want to your sandwich. Pork bacon, thick cut, Wright is one of the best that money can buy at the grocery store. We're popping this in the oven at 400 degrees until it's nice and crispy. Bacon's in the oven. Now, my friends, it's time to season our chicken. Today, we're using chicken breast. Thighs would be a great option as well. I like to use whatever you already have in the freezer, fridge, or what's on sale at the grocery store. Today we're using chicken breast because that's what I had. We're going to season this up with my all-purpose seasoning, which is the perfect foundational layer of flavor. If you don't have this, use whatever your favorite all-purpose seasoning is, or just a little salt and pepper. But my all-purpose has a little onion powder, garlic, things like that. We're also going to come behind that with some lemon bay seasoning, which again is great on poultry. Has a little bit of lemon pepper in it, some Old Bay flavors. If you're into that, this is a great option for chicken and seafood. And this is chicken bacon ranch, right? So got to hit it with that ranch seasoning. Don't go too heavy with the ranch seasoning because it is quite a bit salty. But we're going to make sure we get that flavor in there along with the sauce that we're going to make a little bit later. So those are the three seasonings that we're using on our chicken. Just nice layer on each side. My AP seasoning is low sodium, so it's okay to go a little heavier with that one. Good even coverage. This is going to be good, guys. You could chop this up and make it into a salad. Throw it in a wrap. Low carb bread. This will fit whatever diet you're on, really. But there we go. Beautifully seasoned. So we got the chicken prepped. We got the bacon prepped. The last component of a chicken bacon ranch is what? The ranch dressing. We're going to do that from scratch as well. I'm going to add a little chipotle. So technically this is going to be a chipotle ranch dressing. You can make this at home from scratch like I'm about to show you right now. Or you can use your favorite brand of ranch dressing from the grocery store. Now for my ranch, I like to do equal parts mayo and sour cream. If you're one of those folks that hate sour cream, don't tell me that because then I'm going to ask if you like ranch dressing because ranch dressing is usually 90% mayo. But we're going to go half cup of mayo and half cup of sour cream. Just because at home I like the texture a little bit better. Plus I add the buttermilk so it kind of makes everything come together nicely. So half cup of each. Or you can use all sour cream if you're one of those folks that hate mayo. Or if you're on a super health kick, you can use Greek yogurt. Doesn't taste very good, but hey, let the fitness people tell you that it does. They're lying. Anyway, going in with a couple tablespoons of chipotle and adobo juice. Save the rest of that for a nice marinade or something else. I keep that on hand at all times, one of my favorite ingredients. And then we're going in with about 1/4 cup of buttermilk. I'm going to eyeball it at first. If we need to add more, we will. And then, of course, you got to have your ranch seasoning. Use this to taste, guys. It is quite a bit of sodium and MSG and whatnot in there, all the things that make it delicious. I'm going to start with like 2 teaspoons, but you can add more as needed. And then we'll dress it up with a little fresh chive and parsley for the razzle-dazzle here at the end. But we're looking for a couple things here. We're looking for the acid content from the buttermilk to come through, the proper consistency as well. And then you just want that ranch flavor to come through also. Now you can make the seasoning from scratch too if you want to, but Hidden Valley's been in business for 100 years for a reason. They do a pretty good job, so that's what we're using today. I'm gonna also add a little bit more Chipotle juice. Give that a good mix, and boom, Chipotle Ranch. Little fresh chive for a pop of color. Little parsley, because why the hell not? And boom. That's going to take your sandwich, your salad, whatever, right over the top. Great on quesadillas, tacos. Really can't go wrong. Next up, guys, we're building flavor throughout this sandwich, and that means we need to get some flavor on our bread as well. So for that, we're going to make a nice quick garlic butter. We have a half a stick of melted butter here. To that, we're going to add a tablespoon of garlic paste or roasted garlic, fresh garlic, minced garlic. Just get some garlic in there one way or the other. We're also going to add some grated Parmesan cheese because we're here for a good time, not a long time. About a quarter cup of that. And then to offset the subtle hint of spice that we're getting from that Chipotle, we're going to add like a teaspoon of honey to our butter. It's going to add a nice background sweetness to that bread. It's going to be really nice, and it's going to make all the flavors really come together. So just give that a good mix. And then when we go to toast our bread, this is the butter that we're going to spread on there. You can hit it with some salt and pepper if you want to, but it really doesn't need it. If you add enough Parmesan, it's going to add a nice saltiness to it, plus the honey. It's going to bring the sweetness, and you got plenty of flavor in all the other components with the bacon and the ranch that we made and the chicken. Maybe a touch more parm. And then we're good to go. Next up, my friends, it's time to cook our chicken. So for that, we're going to use about a tablespoon or two of avocado oil. Get the skillet nice and hot, about medium high is what we're looking for. The bacon's almost done. We're about to get this chicken seared and in the oven to finish as well. For your chicken breast, you want 165 degrees internal temperature. Always lay the protein in the skillet away from you to avoid any splatter. And then press down to make sure it's making good, maximum surface area contact with that skillet. So you get a good even color and crust. Immediately it's smelling good. That's a good sign. Make sure you got even distribution of your oil. Give it a few minutes. We'll flip it, finish it in the oven, pull the bacon out, and start to assemble our sandwich. While we wait on the chicken to finish, it's time to go ahead and toast our bread. I like to toast my bread for pretty much every sandwich. You need a nice serrated blade or a bread knife. We're going to cut it, but not all the way. About like so. Make sure it stays intact. And then we're going to brush butter on both sides. And get that in the oven at 400 degrees. And allow it to toast up nicely. And then once it gets toasty, we'll hit it with the cheese, let that melt. And then we'll assemble the rest of our sandwich. All right, guys, so once the chicken hits 165 degrees internal temperature, the best thing to do is to allow it to rest for 5 to 10 minutes before we slice into it, allow their juices to redistribute. Particularly with chicken breast, which is lean, you don't want to cut it too soon. It'll be nice and dry, which is what you don't want. So we want to go ahead and let this rest for 5 to 10 minutes. All right, guys, so for my sandwich, I like to go ahead and chop up my lettuce. You can turn it into shredded lettuce, sliced lettuce, whatever you want. I just want to make sure there's even distribution and it's not hogging up the real estate on my sandwich too much. Particularly when it comes to like food photography, you don't want big ass pieces of lettuce hogging up all the bread. So we're gonna give it a nice rough chop. Same amount of lettuce, this is gonna look a little bit better visually. So there we go, we got our lettuce. We're gonna go ahead and thinly slice our tomato. And it's time to build a sandwich, folks. Last but not least, folks, it's time to assemble, and that means we need to chop our chicken. It's properly rested. We're just gonna give it a nice rough chop, bite-sized pieces, even distribution on the sandwich. The goal here is to have a little bite of everything that's involved in the sandwich in each bite. So in order to do that, we're gonna chop it up nice and small. Now the viral chop sandwiches are cool. You can do that too if you want to here. I don't wanna mix my hot and my cold together like that. I don't mind it being on the sandwich. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but I'm gonna keep the chicken and the bacon, really the chicken separate. I'm leaving the bacon whole because, again, I think that's going to present the best. When we're doing this for YouTube, we got to think about the thumbnail in advance. So some of the things that I do on here may not be exactly what I would do if I wasn't filming it, mostly from a presentation perspective. So just keep that in mind. If you see something that's like, oh, I just don't want to, leave the bacon whole, I can chop it up with the chicken. That'll work just fine too. Beautifully juicy chicken. I like to chop it and then just let it hang out in the juices. Roll it around in there a little bit. Take a little juice bath. Tons of flavor on the chicken. Perfect for meal prep. Super flavorful and healthy. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and cut this in half. But before we do that, this is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. Before we dig in for the taste test, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. Actually, let's have some couth, as my grandmother would say. Spoon it on there. Here we go, folks. Damn. Now that's a sandwich.